Hi there and welcome again. We're on to rebuild 4, which is the Lockheed P38, and I think it's a J variant, Lightning. This one's been fairly good thing. I've got some great amount of weight in the front, and I think that's what eventually gave the landing gear, funnily enough, the landing gear under the each of the booms, to give way, snap, break and give up. So that's been sitting on pegs, its own leg pegs, for years. The objective of the build is to get that back on its feet and present it back to what it should look like. One of the big areas of concern for me is the ugly bit of oil staining that I did down the tops of the booms. Hopefully we can do something with that as well, just to get it to update. But further than rattling with me, let's have a look at what I've got to work with. Remembering again, this was made 40 plus years ago. Okay, let's see what we got to work with here. The booms, the paintwork is good, decal's good. Insignia on the side there is looking good, worn, which is what you want. I saw daylight through there, which is not right, but then again, we're upside down naturally, but you know, the decal and the artwork is pretty good, paint's good all through there. So the boom, we're there, fuel tank, center pod, fuel tank, that, so we're going to need replace the covers for the wheel bay, which are gone. Also the wheel sections themselves, I've got the wheels, but the thing, so I've got white aluminium landing gear. So we've got that to put on, which will be good, make a change. So there's those 3 bays done, and that's the biggest thing that's wrong with it actually, is the undercarriage just gave way under the I don't know whether I went overboard on the weight on the nose, but you had to put some weight in there, and as it stood, that just tipped the balance. And look, I found a little white polystyrene ball again. Now the propellers are good. The dirty, smudgy stuff I put on that, see if I can do something with it just to tart it down, because yeah, that's not really good. But the colour is there. We have one engine, we don't have an engine in the other, so do that again. Propeller's good. Okay, that's good. Here we go. 1 insert, 2, 3, 4, and the nose. So I think that's pretty right. Bit of rivets. Man in the cockpit. Probably can do some stuff behind him in the cockpit. Now, does he come out? He's fairly stuck in there, but that doesn't mean anything, because I do have a series of seat belts I can put in there. Let's have a look at the dashboard, the cockpit layout if we can. All I can see in there at the moment is the steering wheel, and that's about it. The rest of it there, good. Aerial wire mount there for the aerial stuff. We can put that on. Rivets are looking good, I think. I know it's enamel, so I might have to do, they're all raised rivets, as you can see. Superchargers, I've seen people do a bucket load of work just on superchargers. and come down the wing, she's not too bad. Because it's, I'm sure it's enamel, and that's that there is a matte enamel or a flat enamel. The washes that I'm using with Florries aren't going to work on it, I don't think, so I might have to do an oil wash, oil on it. So other than that, there's the top of the tail, all the boom and that is good. Yeah, so we'll see what we can do with this. Alright, I've had a look at what I can do about all this smudging, and there's not much. I've tried the white spirit to try and rub it down. It does get it down a little bit, but it's a hell of a lot of work. So what I was thinking is that I will mask that section off to the line all the way back to the decal. Now the other thing too is on the side here we have that decal there and that one there. Now if I bugger them up, I have another one of these exact models that my mate gave me, to which I'm going to do the alternative in design and pieces. So I have spare. I also got one of those, look at that. So that's what I intend to do, is to mask that off, that there, all the way down the back, and give that a coat of a silver aluminium, which is something like I used here, but the thing is this being enamel paint, and this new one will be an acrylic base, but it's called aluminium, so you could work on that. And what's that? That's XF16. So, and if I have to, I can redo that green. And I'm thinking about whether or not I'll do that as well, but give it just an overcoat of that sort of same sort of colour, just to blend it in, so that the dark underneath will become sort of a marking, dark, different something or other. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll get some small tape and mark it up, and then big tape, mark it up, and then we'll try the spray booth again and see if my skills have improved. Seeing I've never really used one before. Once now. I'm on my second from my second. I'll be lucky. That's going to make my life a little bit easier when it comes to covering things off. Yeah. Now I can turn those the right colour. That'll be good. Excellent. Look at all that crap that went in there. One. put on some lacquer over the insignias there, which should dry shortly, and we'll be able to spray paint past them and then take that off afterwards. That'll be great. Well, look at me, we're going to have a go at painting. See if it's working. Oh, look. That's not bad. That's taken the brunt off it. Let's spin that around. I might even do a little bit down there. Alright, one look underneath. That's not bad. I can live with that. And it's very light. Now man wants to spray more. No, don't do it. Right, let's take the stuff off and see how we went. Now, how do we get this bugger there? Bugger off. Ooh. Well, taking a little bit of the decal off. That just makes it look old and worn, but still. Probably should have tried the old masking. Liquid. Now, where did I put that join? Right there. Hard to say. That works there. I might be able to scrape that off. There again, that looks authentic. I can live with that. very hard. Because it's failed and wasn't sealed, it's given up. And you can see as I've pulled it off, it's just gone slice, 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 slice. Everything is just coming off. It's just taken the whole decal off. Scratch and start again, I suppose. Don't mind the back one. But yeah, so paint wise 95% success rate, I'm quite happy with that. Decal off on that. I'll find out what colour to paint that. But paint job wise, I'm impressed. The only trouble is I'm looking through here and there's supposed to be radiators. In the real world there are radiators down those dots. What I'm looking at is straight through ventilation. Revel, you should have done better, or Revel, you should have done better years back. Okay, fix that major ugly problem, and that's what counts. Now to address that, find out what colour that's called. I think olive drab was what I think it was. Humbrol olive drab. I'll have to do a conversion and find out. Geez, it was old. That was ages ago. Why isn't that sitting down as it should? Yeah, another thing to play with or not to. Good, right, we'll leave it at that. Good one, said Fred. Right, said Fred. Now, I was going to, if he stays in there, oh god, there's another one. Stop looking, we found another one. Now if he stays in there, I don't have to put a seatbelt in there. Which is alright, I have bought some seats, you know. I don't think he's going to come out because he's connected to the whole cockpit and I'm not wobbling that anymore, that I have to. Alright, he stays, no straps, easy fix. Do that, fix that up, put that back on there. That's very thin. Fuel, round on thing, make it red, blue, whatever it is. The Mustang one was red. That's a good panel line. Right, hi. We've had a little bit of improvement. I've had to get rid of the the black stains that I'd put on the aircraft, which was on the booms and the silver. So I've repainted the silver, and it's come up almost that with a little bit of shading on it. But well, it was on both booms, so you can see now that I've repainted the superchargers and put the heat stain down the booms now instead of the black. So there's been some spray booth stuff, some research. The silver part's been redone. The olive drab stuff's been redone. I've picked up that, and the nose has been redone as well. So we're up to turning it over basically. The only thing I guess should be able to do now on the here is give it a wash, which I don't think it'll work, but I might do an oil stain wash on so I can get some stuff in the seams here and go over that. That's got a little bit of flurry wash on it to break it down and get the rust sort of colour into it, and heat. I probably could do with a little bit more white heat stain down the run. That's got some. No, it's not too bad. So, yep. Now, once we get that done, that gloss coat, matte coat. I don't really need to gloss coat it really because I'm not doing the thing. I have taken the insignia and the squadron markings off because they were just too far damaged, and what I'm going to do is pull out the ones from the box that I have of this original model. I've got another version of it, so it won't be doing Pudgy, it'll be doing the other one. So I'll have two of these, and I've also got a Snoop Droop one as well. So I'll use that insignia and put them on there, give them a bit of aging, so that's another job. But compared to what I had there, I think that's a massive change, and yeah, hopefully it looks, I think it looks a little bit better, but it's definitely different and been upgraded, which is what the idea of the rebuilds is about. Now the idea of the rebuild is to put some new wheels in here, so I'm going to take out the little pieces of older stuff there. Yeah, that's better. Take out the fragments of the initial legs and put these new welded piece, what are they? White alloy ones in. That hopefully shouldn't be too hard to dig that out, otherwise I'll be drilling. And same again for this one here, I've snapped off a bit. So dig that out, there's a little bit in there to do. Perhaps give that a little bit of detail, but the worst part is that I'm actually missing one of the door panel covers and the carriage cover, so we're going to work on that as well. But that's the next mission, so I'll attack that. And yeah, so we've had some painting, added some identification colours to it, so work in progress, we're winning. Well, there's a big manoeuvre. I've been able to dig out the wheel wells. Minimum amount of damage on one on the corner there. The other one, it popped out beautifully, and that's really, really good. So I can now play with these, dig out those bits and pieces, and then glue them back in. So a win there for sure. I don't know, but I definitely think I'm going to win, because that'll just mean I'm just playing with that, not the whole aircraft while I'm trying to fix the legs. Okay, working on the legs with the soft metal, it's called. I've glued those together, and I've put that together, and with no instructions. Got no idea what that little piece is. So that, and because there's no instructions on those short, so what I have to do is drill out a centerpiece in there and put, oh god, and put in some extra piece, and then tunnel that down so I can get into the end piece here. It would be good if that they put instructions on their thing as to what and where to cut, because I've cut 1, 2, 3 pieces wrong, and they are very frail and very bendy. And the question comes back, are we having fun yet? Well, I have these. I'm going to put that up that way so we can read it. I have these come in, and they're for the model. And fun and games, as I pointed out, as to where to cut, what to cut, because it comes with no real instructions on how to and where the cut points are. So I've ordered another one anyway, and for up and comings I've got some for the Wildcat / Martlet, which I've yet to build and yet to repair, so got that covered. So front wheel, working on that. Pins for the big wheels. I had to redo those because I cut them short and cut the wrong piece off. These I've glued in, and will have to be probably redone. Oh, I've got to paint them, obviously. But when I looked at it and did my research as to where the design and all the other how they hang, initially the ones I had in there from the model, they were put in incorrectly. I had that piece here hanging off the front, which was incorrect. So thanks very much. I'll have a look at that on the Revel I've got to build, which is exactly the same model. When I do that, I'll make a mental note of having a shot at that. Tyres, yeah, we'll go with those, but everyone else I see shows the tyres with a crisscross pattern in it and all that. I've just cleaned those up. And the other thing is, yeah, I've got yet to make a spare one of those because I'm short one, and I don't know how I lost that. And here we go. Anyway, so I glued those in this morning, and I've just got to do a test and alignment because it is soft, very soft metal. I don't know how it's going to take the weight of the plane, but we'll see when we get there. Okay, had a bit of spray time with the booth yesterday, and gave that, I thought was rather too dark. And before I talked about going with more white, but I gave it a bit of darker coat, and also got some activity on the fuel cells, and also darkened up the fuel tanks and some of the exhaust and parts pieces in there, so we're up to speed with that. And also did the down easy, and also did the tyres here, so put that on the legs them soon and work out how that's going to fit. Also found the remaining decals from the kit that I had. It only comes with that in the set, that's why I've only got that as it was, so I've now had to order some more decals from England for that other aircraft that is now nameless. And thanks for watching up to this point. We'll be continuing on in the next episode.